boxer, how do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
I mean, what he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him.
I haven't seen Gervonta Davis in another sexual assault allegation, lawsuits incoming, potentially criminal charges levied. We don't know yet, but we know that fight is up in the air, and I think that fight's not going to happen, and they're going to either have to move the fight back or they're going to have to look to a replacement or both. I don't know.
This fight is still technically scheduled for November 14th to air on Netflix, but it's basically hanging on by a thread. But the team, Jake Paul's team, have reportedly gone and contacted all the fighters, and the names that they're looking
to fight as a late replacement. Floyd Mayweather has once again shaken up the boxing world, calling out Jake Paul after Gervonta Davis' fight was cancelled due to Tank's ongoing legal troubles. Mayweather made it clear he's ready to step in and face Jake, and this time he says it would be a real fight, not an exhibition. He also emphasized that he wouldn't move up in weight, signaling that if the match happens, it'll be under true professional rules. The unexpected call-out has sparked major buzz among fans, with many eager to see if Floyd is truly preparing for a legitimate return to the ring. 2. Because of the lawsuit and accompanying investigation, Davis says highly publicized exhibition versus Jake Paul has been
down some, but at the time, people badly wanted you and Jake Paul to fight. Is he someone you're interested in, or no?
Well, if you go back, you got to do your homework. Look on the internet. I think he was doing a sit down on a podcast one time, and he talked about it. He said, I don't want to do an exhibition against Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
He said, I'm only doing real fights, and of course, I can't get up high in weight, but I'll fight him in a real fight at the weight that I'm at. But Jake Paul, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he fights a real fighter, it's going to be bad.
Have you been impressed?
But one thing I like about him, one thing I do like about him, he's selling it. He's selling it, and he's making good money. And he's
canceled. His promoter, Most Valuable Promotions, issued a statement investigating the matter and deciding not to proceed with the event under these circumstances. 3. Davis is a
kidnapping,
subject of a civil lawsuit filed by his
distress.
former girlfriend, Courtney Roselle, regarding an alleged incident on October 27th at a Miami nightclub where she works. Russell's filing accuses Davis of battery, aggravated battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping.
You know the situation. He was supposed to be boxing Gervonta Tank Davis, a man that weighs 133 pounds or 135. Regardless, it's a man that is way, way smaller than Jake Paul. So that is just ridiculous, and I've given my thoughts on that before anyway. But now it turns out that Gervonta Davis has some allegations about domestic abuse. I don't know too much about the situation, but apparently Netflix have pulled the plug on that fight. It says, here's a tweet I'm reading from Mike Coppinger. As reported, Jake Paul's return could shift to December, with the November 14th Netflix exhibition in jeopardy due to the latest allegations against Gervonta Davis. Sources tell Ring Magazine that December 12th and the 19th
and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The complaint claims Davis dragged and assaulted her through multiple areas of the club, including the stairwell, kitchen, and parking garage. Law enforcement in Miami Gardens confirms an active investigation in parallel with the civil case. 4. CHA Sonnen recently weighed in on the chaos surrounding the suspected cancellation of the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight, revealing that he personally reached out to both camps to get the truth. According to
boxing champion Gervonta Tank Davis faces new abuse claims from a woman who claims to be his ex-girlfriend. This is according to our media partner, the Baltimore Banner. Courtney Russell says she dated Davis for 5 months and recently filed a civil lawsuit accusing him of aggravated battery, false imprisonment, and other offenses. She claims Davis physically attacked her a number of times during their relationship. Russell claims the most recent incident was Monday at a Miami nightclub. Davis is scheduled to fight Jake Paul in Miami.
Sonnen. He tried calling representative from Jake's team as well as Tank's side to confirm whether the rumors were legitimate, but neither party gave him a straight answer. Their silence, he said, only added to the growing suspicion that
Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched him weigh in. I want to say it was like 8 pounds.
With Tank's fight now in jeopardy, Floyd has called out Jake to face him. Floyd Mayweather has been quite blunt about Jake Paul's boxing abilities. He acknowledges Paul's success in the crossover world and sees him as entertaining, but stops short of calling him a legitimate boxer. Mayweather has described a potential fight with Paul as too easy, indicating that
something serious was happening behind the scenes. Sonnen suggested that when both fighters avoid denying a cancellation, it usually means there's more going on than meets the eye, hinting that the situation might not just be about scheduling, but deeper legal and promotional complications. 5. With Tank's fight now in jeopardy, Floyd.
There were many people who believe you're the most talented fighter ever, period. So whatever you say to this question, I think is important. Are you impressed? Does he have boxing ability, or is he just an entertainer who has a lot of fans and can promote a fight and has fought lesser opponents? Or is he actually talented?
As long as he continued to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
Does he have the ability, with what you've seen, to continue to mold himself into somebody who can actually? He told me before his goal is to fight Canelo, so that's where his mindset's at.
Floyd has called out Jake to face him. Floyd Mayweather has been quite blunt about Jake Paul's boxing abilities. He acknowledges Paul's success in the crossover world and sees him as entertaining, but stops short of calling him a legitimate boxer. Mayweather has described a potential fight with Paul as too easy.
Second question is just with like Logan Paul and then Jake Paul now fighting Mike soon in the summer. What do you think defines a real boxer? Because I feel like people are still confused on if Jake Paul is a YouTuber boxer or a real boxer. How do you feel like you get out of that bubble to make somebody a real boxer?
What he's doing is, I mean, kind of cool. If he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him, I can't knock his hustle. So if they can match him the way how they've been matching him.
Mindset, they're really confident, they really believe in themselves, but you need more than that mindset. You need to have the full package of everything that I'm talking about, what Floyd has got.
Fighters should only want to get better. The more you win, the more you should work hard. If you think about losing, you're going to lose. All I ever thought about was winning. So that's all I know.
Floyd would visualize his success before he even stepped into the ring. There was no alternative to him but winning. And this mindset isn't just for boxing, it's for all walks of life. And I've actually done a full video talking about how I used this mindset of visualization to win my Olympic medal. And it was an absolute game changer. Now, Floyd used to use this mindset to ease the pressure that he put himself under. And he made himself think like, I'm not under any pressure right now, where he was under immense pressure.
Pressure either makes you or break you. Well, you see where I'm at, so it's obvious that I'm the type of athlete or I'm the type of entertainer that can deal with pressure. There's never no pressure.
Now, if you watch his fight in 2013 when he fought Canelo Alvarez, Canelo came in a young, strong, undefeated fighter, but by round 2, Floyd kind of had him figured out. He was reading Canelo's jab. He would slip outside and then come back with a clean counter punch, then move his feet and get out of the way. He basically had the full fight under control, and he was controlling the full rhythm of the fight. He was forcing Canelo to fight at his pace. And this is what he would do in all of his fights. He would get his opponent to do what he wanted them to do without their opponent even realizing it, which is what we call boxing IQ. Now, even though I'm not a fan of Floyd Mayweather personally, because of the time when I did meet him, what he said to me made me just feel like this guy is a piece of shit. And
easy, indicating that he believes Paul wouldn't present a serious challenge to someone of his caliber. He has also made it clear that while Paul has created a lucrative niche, stepping into the ring with a world-class fighter would expose the gap in his
Paul
training,
showdown.
technique,
Mayweather seems
and
unwilling
competition
to let
level.
anyone,
6.
not even his
Additionally, Mayweather's reluctance to grant rematches left many fans feeling there were unresolved what-ifs. By contrast, Jake has often defeated opponents that are way too old for him, past their prime or way smaller than him. Mayweather himself has issued
so many celebrities and so many people that are known where you can get somebody and they can sell tickets to events. That's what kicked off the social media influence boxing that Jake Paul was birthed from. Now we're in a vacuum. And so there's going to be a lot of conversation about that and continuing to do that. In this particular video, though, I want to get into the mind of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and why Floyd Mayweather Jr. would do this. There is the money, but there's also the competitive nature of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and him not wanting to have other people think that they're a bigger star than he is. Floyd Mayweather Jr. has not been able to really launch his star outside of the sport of boxing, so he continues to do exhibitions. Now, what I think is that Floyd Mayweather Jr. is announced it at this point in time with Mike Tyson in order to take advantage of the publicity heading into the Gervonta Davis, Jake Paul fight, which is, I do believe, set for November. So now that they have all the publicity and all that stuff coming out from that, he's going to piggyback on it and then try to have it in the beginning of next year sometime and actually make it a bigger event than Gervonta versus Jake Paul. And it probably will be. And the reason that I say that is because of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is bigger than Floyd. Let me say Mike Tyson. I think Mike Tyson's bigger than Floyd Mayweather. I still think his name is bigger than Floyd Mayweather, even though I know Floyd has made more money in the pay-per-views. And I think that had a lot to do with, again, social media area and otherwise. But the combination of Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Mike Tyson and the question about whether